All right, and we're live. Welcome to Steeler Nation Australia on YouTube and on Facebook. And today we are talking about the Steelers 53 man roster that came out and our reactions, which they aren't really off the cuff. We've been thinking about these things for the last probably 12 hours, 8 hours. We get our news a bit later. But hey, Glenn, how's it going, mate? What's going
good,
on,
man?
Yeah, going all right. You ready to crack into this?
Yeah, I've been checking out the list and having a look at what's going on there. The predictions versus what actually made it. So,
Yeah.
I think the two guys that did it nailed it. Probably missed a couple here and there, but I mean, you can't pick it all, can you?
It is funny though, because it has almost been about 12 hours now since the list has come out. So things can change. And for you and I in Australia, we do have American listeners. Actually, on the YouTube and the Facebook, we have over, I believe, 60% of our previous streams have been American listeners, which is great to see their reaction to us, right? But it's funny because when you and I receive the news, we get the news about 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. in the morning, and that's when everything breaks. So, and even the rumors come out when we go to sleep about 12 midnight, 11 midnight. You start to get rumors break. Adam Schefter's still up there dancing and sing, getting out texts and whatnot. And then I think it was the big one. You probably saw it today too. Was the Cam Newton. What are your first thoughts on Cam Newton? Because all my Facebook was all Cam Newton. What do you reckon?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they let it go. I'm like, like, are they looking at trying to get Brady back? That's why they let it go. Like, I said straight away, I went, man, if we can manage it, snag him. If he's fit and healthy, snag him.
Yeah, it's hard
because shoulders no good, then
Yeah, with Cam Newton, I believe he wants to be a starter, so you'd really have to have Big Ben not be in the situation for Cam to come in.
Yeah.
But what I find funny is in Australia too, with all the news cracks, like I read that story about Cam Newton about 16 times. It was through every NFL site, Fox, all these things that I kept reading about. I'm like, okay, we get it. He's gone. The new guy's Mac Jones. How will Mac Jones go? That's a big development right there.
Where's he from?
Mac Jones is Alabama, I believe.
Okay.
So he was like the 10 or something like that, or he's a Patriots pick. Anyway, he's a first round pick. But I thought they would have went with Cam and stayed with Cam and then bleed in Mac Jones, but obviously they didn't. There's a reason why. Maybe Cam wants to get more money. I don't really know, but that was a big news for the NFL. But we're going to crack in today with with our Steelers, and we've got
our team.
The better team. It's just
the first to 6. Let's get that out there.
We did get first to 6, and I don't want to see the Patriot. Okay, look. Here's a question. We're on the Patriot talk. Will they get 7 before us? Can they get 7 this year?
Or will the NFL help them get 7? I don't know.
Every bloody
year. Conspiracies about NFL and New England. I don't know.
Oh, I've been down those conspiracy routes, and you don't like. I'm a big fan, and I try and steer clear if it's all rigged. I'm thinking, well, if I find out it's rigged, then I won't be able to enjoy it. So I just turn those pages off. It could be rigged. Who knows? Like they say that they gave the Buccaneers the Super Bowl to Brady and whatever, and there's certain numbers in gematria and whatever. The further you go down that route, you just go, well, you're not really enjoying it. Could be true, but something's going to be a lie. And I think I don't know if I want to know if the Steelers can win. Yeah, I don't know if the Steelers, like, I don't want to be told the Steelers win today. I want to enjoy the whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what we're doing.
We hang all off season for it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's all. Yeah, it's off. Never stops. Nathan says here, not a shot. Pats are done. It's fair call. Like I think the Pats can win the division. I think they have the coach he doesn't want to lose again. Belichick doesn't want to lose. All right, too much about Pats. This is not a Pat show.
Yeah,
it's a Steeler Nation Australia.
Get out of there.
We're on the YouTube. Just let me get set up here. We want to go through the roster from QB to all the way to our favorite long snapper, which we'll talk about at the very end. But we won't swear, but we can pronounce it in a certain way, which is really funny. All right. And I'm probably going to buy a jersey. But we'll get to if you know what I'm saying. All right. So let's go through. Let's see if you guys can see this. Now, I'm going to go on the other page. Glenn, let's talk about the offense with the quarterback. What are your first thoughts? Stock standard, right? Big Ben, Mason, and Dwayne. Are those the correct 3 guys there? Does it even matter? We need the other 2. Is it just all about Ben?
Well, I think they've been looking at Rudolph as their successor to Ben for a couple of years now. I think. I think he shows it. He shows a bit. He shows a bit here and there. He's definitely got the skill. But he's just those picks are the problem. If you can get rid of those, he'll be fine. Haskins, I haven't seen a lot of, so I can't really comment too much on going. But look, Ben, you don't need to say too much about him. If the O-line can look up him, he'll kill it.
No, this year, actually, last year was all about Ben, but this year is really all about Ben. Had a full off season, preseason. He has one of the best offensive weapons in the game now with Najee. We'll talk about him for a little bit, but look, every year I say we can win it.
Ready. Yeah,
right. And he's had a surgery last year. 1-11 in a row after the comeback season. Now this season is okay. He looks thinner. He looks more mobile, like a little bit. He's got arguably maybe a better offensive line than last year. He's got fresh faces in there. He's ready to go. Back up, it doesn't really matter. If Big Ben isn't here, we really haven't got a chance. Let's be real. It's hard.
He just too much on it. Yeah, it does hit too much.
You just couldn't. You saw it two years ago with Mason coming in. He's not ready to be started as yet.
Especially when he copped that big hit. Once he got smashed that game, that messed with his head. And you could see him trying to come back. He was trying to have a crack, but he was just.
You know what? You brought this up last time, and I was trying to think of the guy who it was. Now I can't think of it again.
I can tell you off the top of my head.
Oh, it's the Ravens safety knocked him out of the park, and he wasn't. Was it Earl Campbell? Was he a safety? I don't know.
And he pulled off the helmet and threw it in, didn't he? I think that was.
No, that's the other guy. That's the other. That's the main. Miles Garrett. That's this. Yeah, there's.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Two quarterbacks. Oh, he got one. The one quarterback got hit by both AFC North teams, Browns and the Ravens. Another reason why we hate them both. And we can't even talk about the Bengals. But so you're pretty happy with the offense with Big Ben, Mason, and Haskins. 1, 2, and 3.
It's been going for 20 years now. So yeah, I think.
Yeah. Wait, let's do some grades. We'll do some grades. Do you want to what would you grade them from A to F?
A to F.
Yeah, is that how you grade?
Obviously Ben's A+. I mean, he's a elite quarterback.
Oh no, the whole thing. We'll do the whole.
The whole thing. Sorry. Okay, I'm with you now. Well, he just because he's got Ben alone makes it an A.
True.
Like an A group. You know. The other two they could back up well enough, but you wouldn't trust them for to run the whole season on their own.
I can't agree with you. I think it would be for everyone there. Ben's an A or it's an A. You need that no matter what. Yeah. Because if Ben goes down, we're in trouble.
If he goes down, it automatically drops down almost like a C. You know, I wouldn't go as far as a D or any lower.
But... To chime in too, Nathan says here. Oh, sorry, I'm saying your name wrong. Nathaniel says here. Maybe it's a good reason to try and convince Newton to come to Pittsburgh, which would be the case to have a backup with quality like Cam Newton to run the offense. But I just don't see it happening unless there's a big trade or something happening. But you want one sheriff in town. We got Big Ben. Let's go into the running backs. Initial thoughts on the 4. What do you reckon? Najee Harris, Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland, and Kalen Ballage, one of my favorites. What's your thoughts on the 4?
I don't think picking up Najee was the snag of the year. You watch that guy go, and I was thinking the first time I saw him run, I remember he stopped and he propped, and he looked around, he found a hole and just took off through it. It reminded me very much of Le'Veon Bell, the way he used to do it. Stop, prop, have a look. Got all the time in the world to find a gap, and then just explode through it. And then on the outside, man, dude's got wheels to burn. You know, the way he took off down that sideline.
Yeah, the 40-yarder.
Yeah, that was amazing. Like that's some serious speed. So
did you see that he beat 3 blokes on that one on the outside, and then he
just left him eating dust basically.
Yeah, so. It's funny too though because he did that, and he did like a shimmy shake on a character that was about 15 yards away. But just wait until he gets the feel of the game. Like that to me, like he didn't need to do that shake. It was kind of like it was just I don't know if it was in his repertoire, but once he gets a feel for this game and he can beat the safeties, he's going to be really hard to stop because when he gets through that line, like you just sense that he can run, he can get an 8-yard run every time. or if he can beat the first man. If he can beat the first man, he has a good chance.
Pretty much.
He looks like a really good running back. We are going to use his tires a fair bit, like on this offense, but we do have backups in Benny Snell. And Benny Snell, what are your thoughts on Benny Snell? Does he need to step up?
I think he's got potential, and he's shown a bit of that here and there, but I don't think he's shown like quite enough. But as a backup, if he's going to back up Harris, then fine, no worries. But he won't be able to. He's shown that he can't handle it on his own. So losing Connor really pissed me off, to be honest. So sorry to say that, but
he could have been. Yeah, Connor could have been a backup. I think Connor played really well for the Steelers. It's just maybe his health got near the end of it.
Yeah, the injuries were his killer. But, but look, Snell's a good enough backup. I trust him to get in there and if Najee needs a rest, whatever, chuck him in.
The thing is though, Glenn, I don't think he will be backup. Like I don't think he's number 2. I think it's either McFarlane or Ballage. I think they brought him in here for a chance and to play special teams.
Yep. Okay.
So, look.
Where did I was looking at the tech here before. Where did they say that I can't even find it. The running backs, Harris, McFarlane, and Ballage. Like your mates, Dave and Jeff, they were saying that those 3 guys were the guys. So Snell was even like he was ruled out by both of them. So the fact that he's actually made it in there just says that.
I was surprised, but the Steelers don't like to get rid of their draft picks. They really don't like to get and Tomlin was speaking praise about him. Now the thing is, look, if you can do a one, this is what needs to happen. If you can do a 1-2 punch with Harris and Snell, and they will because Snell's a brawler. He just runs in the pack and just hits people as hard as he can. Now this offense will be different with the O-line. And last year we were 32nd with the O-line. So I could see Snell complementing Harris really well if they both play well. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's some holes in there and the defense is getting tired, Snell's the guy. He just runs north and south. But
he's like that cannonball type. You're letting go.
Yeah, he just runs, just go bang. Okay, get me 4 yards. But the thing is, right now he's only getting us 1 yard, 2 yards, and maybe he hasn't had someone in front of him to do that. And we've been injury played with the O-line, and it was pretty atrocious last year what we did. It was so hard to watch them just run into the back of the O-line, and they weren't having any push. And you spoke to me off air too. The O-line needs more push. So if we can get that, Snell's that guy that can be the goal line guy. He can be the 3rd and 2 or whatever, or the 4th and 1. Run it into right at them and see what happens. McFarlane is a completely different animal. He's more of a changer back, and hopefully Ballage can just be more consistent. So, what would you give a grade for these 4 running backs?
Najee's a potential A, but I'd probably put him at about a B or C at the moment.
I was going to agree. I go with a B, just because you don't know with Najee, and the other fellas probably all a B together. So
the young guys that you don't know what they can provide yet.
Yeah, well, let's include too. The next point is Derek Watt with the fullback. So this one intrigues me because he's got his brother on the team, TJ Watt, but he hasn't been used at all really in 2 years.
Yep.
So are they going to use him?
Who knows? You got Harris and Snell now, so he's probably going to get a backseat again. Poor guy, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing what he's got if they can throw him in there a couple of times in the season, whatever. Just to have a crack, see if he can hold his own somewhere. But
they use him on special teams too, Glenn. He's quite a good tackler on the punt. I think the punt returns. I think he does a lot of that on kickoffs and stuff. So he's like that kind of guy. He's a football guy. He's a guy in your locker room. I guess you want to get people to fire up. It's just that we haven't seen in the offense in the last 2 years, and the money we paid for him is like $4 million or something. We haven't seen him what he can do, really, like blocking or running the football, like the fullback dive. It doesn't really happen. But we have a new offense too with Canada, so see how that goes. But I reckon McFarlane will be used a lot too.
Might change it up a bit. I mean, if they change up the O-line that much, then yeah.
Yeah, so we use McFarlane. I'm excited to see what Ballage can do, but basically, a bit like Ben, this really depends on Harris. But if Harris can sneak away with 8 yards, 15-yard carries, like stuff like that, then we have a big chance because what comes in next is our receiver, and I want to hear your thoughts on the receiving class.
Receiving class, A. I mean, it's just all A's running through there, isn't it? I mean, Juju, we know he's a gun. Washington, amazing. Deontay's just an air beast. Claypool is probably one of the tallest dudes we got out there, I guess. He just stands there and just, the hands go up and it just sticks to him. And, Ray comes in and sort of just fills it out, really. He's probably the worst out of them. But even then, you'd still trust him trust him to do the job. So
he's the kind of guy I could see like on the slants, like the play in Madden where you use him as a triangle receiver or I don't know if it's on Xbox, the X receiver or whatever it is. Put him in the slant, and he's fast enough to beat the linebackers. Maybe he's not crafty enough to beat the top number quarterback, but like you said, Juju, James Washington, Deontay, Claypool, all so different. Claypool on the edge, they will go deep to him for sure. Juju, they will go deep, and he's reliable. James Washington is really reliable, and the big one for me this year is Deontay. I think Deontay is going to light this shit up.
Yeah,
let's be real.
I've got a feeling he's going to fly too. Yeah. What can you say about the dude? He's just got the goods.
Yeah,
he's got it.
Nathaniel says insane wide receiver stocks. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Yeah, agreed, Nathaniel.
With Big Ben and even the tight end class too, but like Juju is turning into that kind of like the Heinz Ward guy who's going to be there and his muscle. Like he is a pretty physically fit person to run over people, which is so good to see. Like I have my doubts about him on social media, but on the football sense, him running over someone is really exciting. Like it's unreal. Like to see him just run over a person on third down. Claypool is 23 now, 24. I think actually 23. He's going to be on the edge, and Big Ben can still throw it. And then you've got that wild card, I guess, with Deontay that if he can run certain little routes like A/B, it just depends what Ben's going to do in that veteran leadership with Ben. So he's there now 18 years, right? Or 18 season. If he sees who's taken, he knows who to go to. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows how to pick this receiving core, who to go to versus their defense. So, and any more thoughts on the receivers?
I think we've said it all, haven't we? They're all A's. It's just it's an A+ field. They're all weapons.
A+, 100%.
A whole lot of them are just weapons right across the ground. They'll trouble some D's. They'll trouble some.
A+ 100%. It gives our chance for the offense. Last year, 11-0 happens. Really exciting stuff. It's pick your poison, who you're going to go to. And this year, if we have a run game, the defense can't figure us out too much. And there's I can't remember his name. Randy Finkner's not there. He was done. He was terrible. So we have a new offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, and see what happens with him. Heading in the tight ends after our A+ wide receiver. We might even come back to that at the end of the show. they're so good to talk about. They're really good. Fun, isn't it? Yeah. What about the tight ends? What do you reckon about them?
Eric Ebron showed a bit last year. I sort of remember a few runs he had here and there that just coming in on those short slants off the line, and just those short passes where you get 3 or 4 yards out of him, whatever.
Yep.
He's worth it for that. Unfortunately, I haven't seen too much of the other two guys, so I can't really talk too much about them. But
that's fair enough.
Ebron I liked. I thought he stood up well. His hands could be a little bit dodgy at times. He has dropped some really easy stuff, but generally, I think he's handy enough. Even if he just takes someone away, so you can get him to the A grade guys,
So. Well, we're a bit harsh on on players who drop the ball. It's still the football game.
It's tough.
Deontay led the league, I think, in 13, 14 drops. Now we still won 12 games. So imagine if they do catch the ball. Ebron, I think with him, the only thing I find funny with Ebron, and it's I don't know if it's really a football thing, but a lot of times when he catches the ball, he seems maybe his lower body's not strong enough, but he gets tackled so easy and just falls over. I don't know if because he's big unit up top. It's so funny to watch. Every time he gets tackled, it just seems like, oh no.
Yeah, he's got no no core strength to get out of there.
Yeah,
But
he hasn't like got the balance, and it's just like, oh, you did an
mm,
amazing play, and I want to see you like catch that and do it. Travis Kelce does, like running people over, but he just catches and
yeah,
you just like fall over. And I'm
yeah,
like, okay, we got the first down, I guess. But I can't say anything. But just something I see all the time. He does a third and 6 catch, and then he falls. I'm like, you got had so much room to fall over. Oh, he'll go to like palm someone, and they'll just grab his hand, push it down, and then all his
and
balance
then
is gone.
bring it down. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I like I said, I can't comment on the other guys, but I do like watching Ebron running. I think
Yeah.
he'll be all right.
Well, you got Freemuth here, Pat Freemuth. He played really well. He's going to be Glenn. Look for the red zone threat this year. He's going to be in there for sure. He has probably going to go terrible now, but from Penn State, he said he never dropped a pass in the end zone. Apparently, he never did.
Okay.
So yeah, that one goes there. But he's a
see if it translates to the big game.
Yeah, he's a pretty physical threat. Gentry, he's a third rounder, I think, from 2 years ago. 7 foot tall, he's massive, but hasn't done too much. So it's really like if I could grade them, I would put them as a B or maybe, maybe C plus or a B for the tight ends.
Yeah,
but we don't really need them that much because we have the receiving core,
the weapons.
Yeah. All right, let's head into the O line. The O line, let's go through them. We have Chooks, Zach Banner, Kevin Dolphin, Trey Turner, Green, Dan Moore, Haig, and Hasnell. We won't go through them all, but what are your thoughts on the O line this year and the mentality?
I don't know any of these guys. it's like the brand new O line. I just don't know anyone. Yeah, and I didn't see enough of the preseason games to see what they could do either. God, it's weird not seeing like Pouncey,
Yeah, or DeCastro.
DeCastro. These guys are just like mainstays of the O line for years.
Ramon Foster.
So yeah, I'm sorry, man, but you're gonna have to talk most about this because I just.
Well, you're talking to a guy this is my weakest position, but let's go into it. So,
right.
From the O line now, the big thing for me is we talked about off there. It's mentality. The mentality this year is to run someone over, and we're getting that first down, and we will not get the 30-second run yard. Like we have a good receiving core, but this one needs to be, pure strength and push that guy off the line. So you have guys like Zach Banner. He's a massive guy. He can do that. He can run block really well. Dotson, he's a man of a mountain, and once he is playing on his A game, he will kill a lot of people. Green will turn into a good center. Dan Moore Jr. might be our swing tackle or right tackle, but there isn't really too much depth in this O line, and there might be changes to the end of the season or start of the season because you have 5 O line guys and 3 backups, but you have 17 weeks to play.
Yeah.
So, in our left tackle now at the moment is Chooks. I can't pronounce his last name. We all call him Chooks. And backup center is JC Hasnell. So, there are a lot of names that, you and I don't really know too well because they haven't played. Dotson played last year. Zach Banner got hurt. The only guy who really played last year was Dotson Chooks. The rest of them are fairly new.
Before it all?
A little bit, yeah. Or Chooks. Yeah,
I sort of remember his name. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays left tackle.
Yeah.
But other than that, Zach Banner got hurt week 2 last year. So these are big years for these guys, and it's a new culture. We had you could even see it when Pouncey threw that ball over the bloody Ben's head, and it's they're getting pretty long in the tooth of 10 years.
I think that was the end of him, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was like
you looked at it just when you're done.
Yeah, so we have a new offensive line. Kendrick Green's a rookie. Dan Moore's a rookie. We have some guys there. Dotson, I think he'll be one of our favorites because he's a massive unit and he's a really stealer. And some of the runs you see him block people, I wouldn't want to be in front of him. Let's put it that way. But if I could grade it, and I'll get yours after, I've got to say C plus or B2. I want to see if they can prove it. So C plus.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? You have to rate them in the middle. Till we can see what they can do. I mean, if they're creating space for the running backs to get through, if they're pushing guys off the line, they're protecting Ben so he's got enough time to work, all that stuff. And if they're young, so you'd think they'd be keen.
Yep.
They'd want to go out there and show what they can do.
Trey Turner, I think, is one of the old. Trey Turner's one of the oldest ones there. A few rookies. Kevin Dotson's second year, I think. I always get confused. Second year. Zach Banner, third year. Chooks, third or fourth year. Very young guys. Like this is
so
really young. And they're all new. Like you said, I don't bloody know these guys. Who are they? All right, let's go to the defense. Defense. More. I love the defense. What are you, Glenn? Are you a offensive or defensive guy? What do you like more?
TJ, mate.
You like the defense more?
TJ, my man, the sack king. Bring it on. I love watching the receivers do their thing, but man, watching my man TJ Watt just go in and just smack the crap.
There's something about it. There's something about it. Like cracking an innocent quarterback, just standing in the pocket and then it's getting like racked up.
Even guys like Hayward and Chewett and Alawalu and these guys who go in and just cream guys as they come running through.
Have you seen the way they tackle? They're like they body tackle them. Like Big Cam just goes, "Give me a hug, mate," and it's like just falls to the ground with him. Yeah. Well, let's go into that. So we've got the defensive line. We got Cam Hayward. Let me try and read this here. Cam Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, and Tyson Alu are going to be our starters. What are your thoughts about these three? To me, are so key.
A's.
Hey,
you can't. They're A's. They're up there. Yeah, they are the pinnacle of our defensive line. Those guys, with TJ obviously, and big iron head. Yeah. So guys like Watt and Highsmith add into that. That outside bit that comes in, that sort of stuff. They've been mainstays of our defensive line for a while now. So you know them. You know what they can do.
Same with Cameron Hayward. He's coming to the end of his career too, really. And actually, we signed him. I think we signed him for 3 or 4 years, but he's going to be a Steeler, so we need to get him a ring. Cam Ironhead Hayward and Stephon Tuitt's going through some stuff with injuries and his brother passing, but he'll be there as a Steeler. Tyson Alualu is a family man, and he is just as a nose tackle, he's a huge unit. We did have Javon Hargraves there, but Alualu is 10-year, 11-year veteran. These three fellas up front, they are probably the foundation for how this defense works. Backing up with Mondo, Bugs. We won't go too much into them. Bugs, Davis, and Loudermilk. They're backups, but we'll move right into the outside linebackers of your mate. So TJ Watt, what's going on? Is he going to win the Player of the Year?
You'd have to think so. I don't think there's too many out there that'll match him for it. I mean, he's just he's a massive weapon.
But he got robbed last year. He had more stats in every single category except one, with one less game, and didn't get it.
It's just bullshit, isn't it?
Hey, how does that work?
There's obviously some favourites going around, but let's not get into conspiracies. We'll go back to the Patriots.
Aaron Donald got the Defensive Player of the Year, and everything was less than one than TJ Watt, but he played the playoff game. But there's more voting. Look, I'm a bit of a bettor, so I've put some money on TJ Watt this year, but he's got a chance because I think with this defense this year, he can really get one sack a game, or he can really, this is his fifth year or fourth year. So this is the year for TJ Watt to really go off. And, you got on the other side, Alex Highsmith. What do you reckon about him?
Yeah. Good.
Pretty high.
Good bat. He's another weapon. Like I said, the same. That have these two guys come running off the sides of Chewett and those guys in the middle there. You have TJ Watt, Highsmith coming from the sides. Where do you go when you got two guys like that coming at you?
Can't go anywhere. Have you seen his motor? His motor. I really like his how fast and energetic he is off the sideline. During preseason, he was outclassing everyone. Like he can see that ball go a fraction before he goes, and he's in the quarterback's back pocket. So you pair that with TJ Watt, and it's trouble for the quarterback. Like I've always said, even with our defense every year, I wouldn't want to be a quarterback. I wouldn't want to. If you're gonna have TJ off the edge and you know that you have to get the ball out in like 3 seconds, there are some teams in the NFL that haven't got the pass rush we do. We had the highest. I think we've had the highest sacks 3 or 4 years in a row, and we've had a sack every game for 65 games in a row.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Why would you want to verse us defensively? They say we're a shit team, and yet we have one of the best defenses. And this year, arguably, could be even better than last year with Highsmith and adding Melvin Ingram. He is a. Do you know much about Melvin Ingram?
A little bit. I have seen a little bit of him, but from what I've seen, I'm impressed. If you got
he's a stealer. He just runs into and goes, "All right, I'm going to get you, mate. You're dead."
Just the Iron Man, I suppose. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's got to be an A line there, I think.
Oh, 100%. I would say this is A plus. This is. Well, we'll put them at A, and they can go to A plus. TJ Watt, Highsmith, great. Highsmith is getting. How many sacks do you think Highsmith's getting?
It probably half what TJ gets, because if he doesn't get him, he'll get him.
So 10.
Yeah, let's put it at 10.
I reckon he's getting 9.
TJ 20. We'll give Alex, 100%. Give Alex 10.
There's more games this season. It depends how well we go, but I think TJ will get about 17, 18, and I think Alex will get about 9, or maybe even 11. Could be 17, 11. Jimmy Jones is there. He's another guy that come through too. He's playing. He'll play good as backup, but we won't need him to fill in that much. But it's a scary time. Scary time for a quarterback to face TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, because they're the guys too. They're the same guys, Glenn, that when they wrap up, they're just gonna they do it not intently to hurt someone, but they're doing it enough to hurt them a little bit. Yeah. Bit of a love tap.
Tap on the bum. He'll be right.
How could you it's like with the Mar. Like Mar's gonna run around everywhere, but you're gonna get tackled every time. I couldn't do it. The coach you get tackled. And the coach would be like, all right, now do a 40-yard pass. You'd be like, oh, get stuffed. I'm doing that. All right, inside linebacker. We have Devin Bush, Joe Schobert from the Jags and the Browns, Spillane, Buddy Johnson, and Allen and Gilbert. What are your thoughts on inside linebacker?
So Bush and Spillane. Pardon me. Devin Bush and Robert Spillane have been around for a little bit. We know what they can do. It would say Schobert come from where?
Schobert's from the Browns. He's more of a coverage guy. Okay. He's a pretty big pickup as a veteran. The thing is, though, like with Bush, Bush is coming back from injury, and it's kind of not a prove it year, but it's like, hey, mate, like this is your job. Like we really need you to do
step up.
Just to be a football player, man, and go out there and rattle some heads. Like I think, and Spillane, he showed in the preseason that he can be beat on coverage in certain things. The other 3 players like Buddy, Marcus Allen, and Gilbert. They're just guys. Wearing a uniform and it can help us out. So it's really, Buddy Johnson will be good in the next few years, but it's really about Devin Bush and Schobert. Schobert can cover. Bush can be a hard-hitting tackler. So I really give this unit maybe a C. Like I don't see too much. And it's a key position too. I give it a C just because I don't know what's going to happen yet.
Well, we struggled in the past few years with our secondary. I think we all know that. Our secondary is probably one of the, I don't know whether it might be close to, one of the worst in the league somehow. They just seem to get caught out more often than not.
You know what it is? So it's coaching.
A C would be good. Yeah, a C would be about the most you give them, I think.
It's bend but don't break mentality. Fair enough. But at a certain time that you can't, like I've seen it in the last 5-6 years, maybe even longer. The Steelers just give up 3rd and 13s like it's nothing. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like you have a 3rd and 13 and you let someone get out. Like they just go, okay, we're not playing anymore, and they give up a first down. But then they only allow a field goal. I would like to see this defense really just every down play as hard as you can and get them off the field. Don't let them, like we have beaten these games too close the last 4 or 5 years. 1 by 3, 1 by 7. I want to see them try and win by 10. Get some points going. So you got to get them off the field.
Actually, stop those guys from scoring in the first place. So get that. I know we talk about a lot of Steelers, and it's a long time ago. We need that steel curtain back, but that hasn't been that long since we had it. Because what was it, 2017 or 18? Somewhere around there, where we were averaging about 13 points against. Something like that.
Not too sure. The most recent year, or the one I know the best that stands out for me, is 2008. So 2008 and 2009 was one of the most hard-hitting defenses. We had Larry Foote. James Farrier in the middle. You had Lamar Woodley, James Harrison, Big Snack up front, Hampton, Aaron Smith, another bloke too, I can't remember. Kiesel was there. All hard-hitting, all Steeler mentality football players. Cornerbacks, Jay Townsend, Ike Taylor, Troy Polamalu, and Ryan Clark came into the mix there too. That defense was number one for like 2008 and 2009, and we won the Super Bowl because of them. Now, what reminds me of this defense a little bit is TJ would be James Harrison. Highsmith reminds me of the same number, Lamar Woodley. You need the guy James Farrier to be a Devin Bush or Sherbert or someone like that to command that middle line, because the whole linebackers, and they all bought in. So all the linebackers, they all bought in together, and you couldn't get past Big Snack, Hampton. You couldn't get past Shear the Beard, the Kiesel, and Aaron Smith. Yep. You couldn't do it. It was just, it was like, who wants to tackle this guy? And on the back end, you had, and we'll get to the safeties, you had Troy, and you had a good shutdown corner. I couldn't catch, but he was a great corner.
Yeah.
So, and also they had with big play Will Gay, who's got the most Steeler interceptions for touchdowns, which is 6.
Yeah.
So that's a defense you want to all key position to hammer everyone, but they bought in. They really wanted to win for a championship, and they did.
Well, what was it Polamalu said at the Hall of Fame when he said that the time that when one of the legends comes up to you and says you could play with us, that's when you know you've made it as a Steeler.
Yeah, that's it. And it's just a culture mentality.
And you need that. We need those guys down there to instill that into these guys. You know, your Steelers, man. Like Polamalu's speech at the Hall of Fame.
So fantastic. Good, I'm getting chills now, man.
It was amazing. Like, he was just so passionate and so
smart.
Yeah, smart. He's the Steeler mentality. It was just like, it was ingrained in him, you know?
He was like, don't fuck with me, but in a nice way, wasn't he?
Yeah.
His personality was so nice, but he's on the field was, don't fuck with me. I'm the best player, but I'm not going to boast about it. But you're right. He said that. Yeah, we'll pretty much tell you. We'll tell you if you've made it, or like it's if Devin Bush comes up and does all this stuff and say, "Oh, I'm the best, I'm the best." No. We'll let you know. We'll let you know when you've made it.
We'll tell you when you're the best, mate. If you've got say Franco Harris comes up to you and he goes, "You can play with us." You go, fuck off, I'm there, you know?
Yeah.
If he's just going past you going, yeah, g'day, mate, and walking on, you got a bit of work to do.
But Bush can't say to him, hey, I'm better than you, or I could do what you could do. You can't do that. There's a respect there. You know, I'm picking on Bush a little bit, but the same thing.
Got to agree with Nathaniel there. We do need another Fear the Beard out there.
He was unreal, wasn't he?
He was a beast. I mean, the way his beard just stuck out of his helmet was enough to
do you remember
grab you on its own.
I don't know if you saw it, and Nathaniel knows it too. The interception 99 took to the house versus the Bucks. Do you remember seeing that?
No.
James, look it up. I'll share it.
Oh yeah, we ran 90 yards.
Yeah, no. He ran. I don't know if he ran 90 yards, but Harrison came off the edge and fucking took out the quarterback, and the ball just popped up like it was a lolly in the air, and then number 91 went, oh geez, and caught it, and then just ran. Like 60 yards for a touchdown.
Gotcha.
It's one of the best because Harrison takes his feet off him, and even with Harrison, there's an interview with Harrison, and there's this Steeler mentality that we're missing a little bit. He said to Ike's kids, when Ike was running around, he said, he said to his little kids playing football, make sure you take the soul out of the other kid. He told Ike's kids to hit him that hard that their soul goes missing.
That's bad. That's crazy.
Man, you just got to get back to that mentality. I know you can't with the league and stuff, but dude, Debo was just a menace off the edge in the highlights he's shown, and with Troy Polamalu back there, it was just incredible to see him rock Joe Flacco, and he was like a human, like a big gorilla, ready to bounce and just go whack. Yeah. So I don't know who's gonna where this passion is gonna come from, but maybe Sherbert will help us out. Maybe he's a football guy. He gets 100 and something tackles every year. He's been about 4 years. So,
maybe he can show a bit of that spine to the rest of them.
Something. Yeah. Bush can too. He can, but.
Yeah. Like I said, I think we'll middle them at C and see how they go.
Yeah, good to
See how the defensive coach sets them up. Whether he can change it up a bit and sort of, I don't know, see if they could just get that box as a kill zone. Ball goes in there, boom, gone. Just
I'd
you
love to
don't
see
want
us,
to be a receiver in there.
I'd love to see us as coaches. There'd be no technicalities, no skill or nothing. Just like, can you go hammer that person? Can you go hit him as hard as you can? Sure thing, boss.
See that guy there? I want you to run straight through into the other side of the ground. Like he's not even there. Boom.
Something out of the Water Boy. He's been talking bad about your mum. Go get him. Oh, he's a what?
Yeah, exactly. Or you tell the guy, go get the ball for me.
Yeah, you can tell how we grew up watching the football movies. That's all it was.
The replacements. I was thinking of the replacements where he's got that mad dude that just runs out there and just goes nuts. He's tackling the guys in red all the time. Red shirts. Stop tackling red shirts.
Have you ever seen that? I think Behind the Steel Curtain used to do it. There's an article that they rank like the movie kind of like football players, and he's one of them. Like, would you draft him? He would just jump the line and like him out of the way. All right, let's go into cornerbacks. Quarterbacks here. This is a funny one to me, and I want to see your thoughts too. So we have Hayden, Cam Sutton, James Pierre, and Justin Lane. Only 4 cornerbacks. That surprises me. What are your thoughts?
Well, there's really only 4 corners, I suppose. You need to cover.
Yeah.
Joe Hayden, I think is obviously he's the best we've got as a quarterback at the moment. And even then he has issues at times, but I still think he's solid. He's a solid player out there. I don't mind him. And unfortunately, we're getting into another bit where I haven't paid a lot of attention to the other 3. So
they're fairly new. They're very new guys. Or Cameron Sutton's been there 2 or 3 years. Okay. James Pierre played last year, but he's really second year. Justin Lane has been there 3 years now, and he's really untested at the moment. He's getting better, but he's nothing where he's a third rounder. I think from 2018, so it must be 3rd year. Yeah. Cameron Sutton, I think, is 2017 or 2018, and he was playing on the outside, but he might play some more slot. It really depends. I want to see Hayden play and James Pierre play on either corner. Another tip for you too. I think James Pierre is going off this year. I think they will test him. Yeah, the quarterbacks won't go near Joe Hayden, and they'll test James Pierre. And I think Pierre, from what I saw in the preseason a bit last year, he plays man to man really strong. So I can see with the pressure getting from the TJs and those kind of guys, he might get a few chances to pick the ball off just because they're going his way. Because Hayden plays really good coverage as well, and you don't like. And Hayden is the kind of guy
he can snag it.
He kind of he's a bit like Troy now. He's really savvy at the game, and he can kind of predict where the ball's going to go before it gets there. Yeah. So he doesn't really play. He plays the man, and he goes, "Okay, I'm in this route coverage. All right, it's going to go here, and I'm going to pick it off." You saw it last year when he versed I think it was the Browns or the Ravens. He got a few.
He was killing it. He was killing those intercepts. He was just jumping up, just grabbing everything.
There are times where he is like in front of the receiver's route. Like, when they do like an out route and they turn right or whatever, and he's in his bread box. Like, yeah, thanks, mate.
I love that. But there were times too where he did get caught out. If I remember rightly, there was probably 1 or 2 games. I can't remember him exactly, but I know he has been beaten on occasion. But I think he tends to win more than he loses.
100%.
So,
but he's a guy too that over time, Joe Hayden playing the cornerback can lock down a guy, and he can also test. Maybe look like he's not covered, and the next minute he's on his on him like Donkey Kong. He's just right there. So I really want to see Joe Hayden and James Pierre play. It depends who's going to be the slot or the nickel guy. And as we get into this, we'll do the safeties too. We have Minka, Terrell, Killebrew, and Trey Norwood. And Trey Norwood could also play a bit of slot too. He's a rookie guy. He might be able to play slot or the dime package. So you'll see him. Minka's outstanding. I would like to see Minka. He needs to get involved a tiny bit more. I know he does big plays, but I just want to see him around the ball as much as I can. I want to see Minka everywhere.
He's a man.
There are some times when, from the naked eye, it looks like he's not really getting involved as much. But he's the guy for safety. He's rated probably the best in the NFL. And with the Steelers defense, it all kind of works together. Big pass rush, and then Minka's gonna help it out. J Rock is a Raven fan. He said Joe Hayden equals old man. Nah, whatever, mate.
Give the guy a little bit of a spell. He's been out there for a while having a crack.
He's your future Hall of Famer, J Rock, mate. We have a good secondary. I think there's some guys that James Pierre and Justin Lane. Big year.
Yeah, it's those inside linebackers that are the iffy part of the whole thing. Guys like Hayden, Sutton, Fitzpatrick, they could all hold their own well enough. They'll be fine. I can't see.
And then that's it. Look, it's even if you have a lot of star people around you, and Devin Bush is a really good player, but if he starts playing lights out, then we have 11 lights out players. So I've always said you have TJ who can really push the pocket, Devin Bush to roam the middle, and then Minka to pick certain things up. But Terrell Edmonds is there. He runs in. He's a good spot there too. He runs more run stopping kind of stuff. He backs up Fitzpatrick. So and Killebrew, he's going to be more of a special teams guy. So, but yet again, only 4 safeties. So we're really going with the first 2. And now the fun part, we get into the special teams.
What are your
thoughts about our place kicker, Chris Boswell?
Bozzy's all right. He's okay. Look, does his job well.
I'd rather Boz than anyone else at the moment. I don't want to see anyone. I like what do you call it? The Wizard of Boz. He's fine. He's actually, I think he's got one of the highest percentages. The Ravens kicker, I can't remember the Ravens kicker's name, but he's got like 91% or 93%. I think Boswell has like 89 or 90%. That's fine.
Yeah.
He had a bad year. He's good. I think he's Then we're getting into, we lost our mate Berry. Berry's gone, but what are your thoughts about? Did you see Harvin?
No.
So he's a new rookie.
Oh, actually, did I see him punt? I saw someone punt. I can't remember who it was, and it was a massive boot. Was that the guy who dropped it on the 1 yard line?
Yeah.
God, cool. Okay. Yep.
He's all right then.
He'll do. Mate, when you can do that was unbelievable. I couldn't believe that actually happened. I couldn't believe I was seeing that.
The best part of it was the gunners who ran down didn't even need to touch it. It was kind of like the way it was flying, it was going to stop there anyway.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, the way it landed. I mean, you just don't see a ball just stop dead like that.
No, 3 turns, and every time it was turning, you knew it was never going to go over. It was like bouncing back every time. I don't know how he did it.
No, but if he can do that all the time, then he'll be good. We'll
look, we had Berry. Berry was there for 6 years, and I would pay money to live there for 6 years in Pittsburgh. So he's all right. Mate, come on. Berry will probably go to another team. I think he'll still punt around somewhere else. And lastly, our last player, long snapper. Now I got to pronounce it right. Number 46. Yeah, Christian. It's Kuntz or Kunentz. However, I can't wait to buy the jersey. I'm buying the jersey when it's official, when we get his number. Christian Kuntz is, and it's funny, even the guys on behind the steel curtain, like the American dudes, they say Kuntz, and I'm like, it's just funny to me because we say that word all the time. It's in my language, man.
Oh, and I'm an ex-soldier as well as railway guy.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Like, swearing is just, I've used that word so often, it's just secondary nature to me.
And that word, though, we can't say it here. We can say Kuntz, which is great. But we can't say the other way, but it's so similar and it's funny. Like the guy's name is, I looked it up. It's a German name. It's from Germany.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his dad's name. His dad or his mum's name was quite funny. Like the 2 names together. Yeah. Actually, there was a guy.
Calvin.
I can't remember his name. There was another guy who was like fairly similar. Like you look up funny names in sports. There was a baseball guy. Someone named Rusty. Someone I don't remember what his name was. Anyways. But yeah, look, that wraps up all our guys. Are you pretty happy with the roster coming out? Even though it'll probably change soon.
I'm good with it. I'm okay. Like I said, we've got the weapons on attack are pretty obvious. The defense, that defensive line, solid. Secondary, couple of holes, but hopefully they work out fine. And the safeties now, they'll kill it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's all good. It's
What
looking
are your
good.
thoughts? We'll go for 10 more minutes. What are your thoughts on the chances versus the Bills week 1?
The Bills. We tend to be slow starters, don't we? So,
Yeah, can do. It's weird.
we can be slow starters. I don't know. I don't expect too much in the first couple of weeks, to be honest. You sort of
Really?
you want to look for a win, and you want to see the guys getting out there and having a crack, see what they can, see if they're following what they need to do from play to play. And yeah, they get a win. That's cool. I'm not too worried about losses early on. I'd love to get like wins all through the season. You'd love to have 17 wins, but you're never going to end up with that because there's always 2 teams playing and one's going to win. So I take it sort of 1 week at a time. I hate to be sort of the old
That's like
cliche.
a coach. Yeah, like a coach
cliche. I think every coach
listen,
in the world said that.
You don't reckon that we can? I reckon we can beat the Bills. Now I'm telling you why. Is TJ? TJ is part of it. TJ Highsmith in this defense. I don't see the Bills racking up 30 points in us week 1.
No, I couldn't see that either.
If they do, we are in a bit of trouble.
Can we put on 30 plus points against them though?
We can. It's going to be a tight game. I reckon maybe 27-23 or something, or 20. You know what I mean? Big Ben, it's hard to throw him in Buffalo territory. The key is this game is Najee and that offensive line. If they can hold the ball long enough, and on the defensive side, is really don't let Josh Allen run over us with Stephon Diggs. But it's week 1, so week 1 can be anything, and they're $3.30 to win. So,
that's what I mean. I sort of never expect too much out of the first game because it's, like I said, you want to see what everyone can do. They're still trying to get into it as well, so they've only got a few minutes from preseason, 4 preseason games. They might get 5 or 10 minutes to play here and there. Now they got to play a full game. So
it's funny. It's funny because even the first quarter or the second quarter could be nothing football. Could be absolutely duck eggs. It's not going to look any good. Come third quarter, fourth quarter, might see some good action. But I've got this little feeling that Najee. I just really think he's going to light it up. What I saw in preseason, how he had 8-yard runs. I got a feeling that with the receivers, I could see the Steelers getting up 7 or maybe 7-10 points and then causing the Bills to do things they don't want to do, and then we're in the game. But they're really outsiders. The Bills are heavy favorites.
Yeah, well, they did so well last year. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, look, if you can put the points on early, rely on the D to put the pressure on them, and get the intercepts and that sort of stuff. I think good chance.
But if we get run over, we're in a bit of trouble. But like I said, it's only week 1, but still, if we get run over and they win 37-35 to 13, we're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
That means nothing's working.
Yeah, pretty much.
Doesn't it? That means the running game, the passing, the blocking, nothing's working.
So, something's going to change. So, yeah.
But what a shock win if we can sneak out 21-19 or something like that, or 21-17.
Yeah.
I just think these pass rushing guys should push that pocket on Josh Allen more because he's the highest paid quarterback now. So go smash him. Like, yes, he's got he's got great money, but so will TJ. He'll be one of the highest paid. Hey?
Yeah, make him earn it.
I thought you said murder him. I was like,
no. Make him earn it. So if he's getting all this money, make sure he earns it.
Imagine, it would be good, like, to watch, because it's going to be, I guess you'll be working, but maybe you can catch a bit of it at 3 a.m. But it's to quiet that Bills crowd would be pretty fun going in there. Steelers going there, and and even there's some Bills guy on the NFL.com, NFL like Australian site on Facebook. There's some Bills fans in there, and they're always real rowdy. And it's like, I would love just to go in there and beat them week 1, and just say, hey mate, we got all the Steelers beat, because no one thinks we can win this year. Absolutely no one thinks we can win.
Yeah,
we are the third favorite to win the division. We have an old quarterback. We have nothing going on, and yet we still have some insane talent, like you said, with the receivers and the running back. So
yeah, it's there. It's just all going to come together.
Yeah,
and we'll see whether that could. You will know within about 5 games whether everything's working.
I hope so. Any final thoughts on this season? I got one last thing to wrap it up. It's kind of funny. Any final thoughts on this season?
Let's hope, winning the division, of course, is a first priority. Just showing Baltimore they can eat a dick,
Yeah, just rack off.
Just take off. Cleveland, you don't good anyway. Just sit down, bench yourselves. And who's the other one? I forget who the other one is.
Bengals.
Yeah, the Bungles. They're irrelevant. They just never try, so forget about them.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. AFC North football is so fun to watch, eh? So you think, look, I agree with you.
We own the North.
Ravens, I think Lamar is in a bit of trouble this year with their defense. You can't run on us all the time, mate. You've got to do some throwing. And the Browns are the Browns, man. I'm so sick of seeing them winning.
They came out of nowhere last year, huh?
But it's been building. Like, they've been building their team to get there. Fair enough. They've got a good team.
I think all they did was they built it just to beat the Steelers. That's all they did. They went, we just need a team to compete the Steelers once.
You know what? They'd be like that. They'd be very spiteful. They'd do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've heard some of their fans talking about how they from a young age, we hate the Steelers.
Dude, they hate us with a passion because we've always won. But they still haven't been a long time. Look, before we end the show, I got one funny thing. The Browns, that was their first win. I think it was in 20 years or something. 20 years in their first win. Now, look at this. If I can do this correctly. Wait, let me get rid of this. Does that do that? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's so weird. Okay. Oh, here we go. So I can share this one and wait. Did that work?
Oh, yeah. Yep. The last time the Cincinnati Bengals won a playoff game, yeah.
That was weird. So when I did that, it took me out to the actual page. Okay. So now the reason why I bring this up because it's funny. Now the last time they won was January 1991. The Bengals won a playoff game. Was January 1991, January 6th.
I was in year 10.
That was.
Let me just. No, 91. I finished high school. I'm 47 now. I finished high school in 91. So yeah.
So
here you go.
Hang on. So the amount of days since that was 11,196 days since their last playoff.
Yep.
Their playoff victory. Now I just wanted to end the show. I think in this article from Fox, it even says like it brings up like number one song was Madonna. Price of gas was like $1.14. Number one movie was Home Alone. Rated show was 60 Minutes, but stuff that they suck. George Bush and like those are all these things. It's like it's been 30 years since they won a playoff game, and I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's funny. That
is funny.
Like, how do you not win a playoff game in 30 years?
How they put on orange and black, I guess, and that's how you not win. Just put on those shitty colours. There you go.
So yeah, it's been 11,000 days, and like until I die, until I'm whatever age I am when I get older, I never want to see them win again. I really don't. Nothing will make me more happy for them to miss every single year. Every single year. Like even if they make it, I want to see them lose. Joe Rock's a Ravens fan. Even if they verse the Ravens, I want to see the Ravens win. Because I don't want to see the Bengals win a playoff game ever. Like it's been 30 years. This stat cannot stop. This stat is so funny. They've been to the playoffs, I think, 6 times, 7 times since that time, and they've lost every single one. Right? They lost consecutive years to the Houston Texans. They lost. We beat them in 2016 or something. Like, I just think it's funny. Like you play this game, and the imagine being the owner or the franchise guy. Like you're a billionaire, whatever. But
you sell it. I don't want it anymore.
What if you just round your other mates and it's like, and they just go, oh, like it doesn't, like money doesn't really matter. I get shit on if I pour a beer wrong. This guy's getting shit on because he can't win but you know what I mean? He can't win a game in the playoffs. So hey, it's funny.
Funny stuff.
I think it's funny. Are they going to win? Are they going to win this year?
No.
No, they're not. They're not going to win. All right, let's call it. Let's call it, Glenn. Thanks for coming on, mate. You got any final thoughts this last time? Then I'm going to call it.
Let's just go Steelers. Let's get those weapons, those 5 weapons.
You've
going,
mate.
And
Juju, Washington.
And that way we can match those KC guys because they've got the same. They've got all those guys as well. Matching Mahomes with all his guys. I'd love to see a good. When's that? That's about week 15.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere around there. It's late in the season.
15. Yeah.
But man, that'll be good. That'll be good.
And if we're fighting for a playoff spot.
Yep. Then screw everyone else. Let's just get it.
It's that time we're fighting for a playoff spot in week 15, 16 that the game matters. So we won't rest anyone. It's too early to rest any players. So it's going to be Mahomes.
Hopefully it'll be both teams are with the A team on.
Hope so. You never know with injuries and stuff like that and coming in the season. But
well, of course. But and that's what screwed them last year. But
and Mahomes had nobody O-line. He just kept running around. He ran 400 yards in that game.
Just trying to get away from guys trying to tackle him. Cool. All right.
Let's end it. So we had, I think we had about five viewers, which is great. And I think we have YouTube and Facebook, and maybe a lot of the American guys might see this in the morning. So we appreciate you guys if you're listening. Thanks, Glenn, for coming on. We're just, I'm just an Aussie dude having a platform and bringing in my mates like Glenn. I haven't met him yet, but I've met, online. It's great. I think we swore a few times, which is great because I think it doesn't matter. I'm not making any money. Who cares?
Mate, we're Aussies. We'll swear anyway.
Christian Kuntz, he's one of our favorites. Thanks, Glenn, for coming on, mate. Stick around for like 2 more minutes. Thanks, guys.
All right, cheers.